Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone for teaching this truth time and time again, showing to be men of the Lord. To Wada Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. And to all brethren out there teaching this truth for all the four corners of the earth, as the Lord put the Spirit on them. To continue to put this forth. It's just gonna lessen it just in my spirit. I don't really do videos like that. My mouth been hurting a lot, so I'm not gonna be talking very loud. But I was reading in Matthew's, and this chapter went out, expressed to me, and it really spoke to me. So we're gonna get it. Pharisees exposed, or the religious leaders are like all the fake ones, which is the point of this this lesson is the hypocrites. These ones hypocrites that have been so much around preaching the truth, dressing. And if you look at what the word hypocrite is, let's just go down. I'll read a little bit in this chapter, and then we're going to go on to some precepts. This is Matthew chapter 23, verse 2, saying the scribes and the Pharisees that sit in Moses' seat, in the law, the ones that are trying to put forth their head of Israel, like these other Israelite camps, IUIC, and whatever, the one that said wisdom is wisdom, don't use wisdom, which is stupidity. But even just it's a lot of just you don't even know. Like, and even the camps that you are in, these people are acting because the truth has got popular. It has been spread for the four corners of the earth. So it's a lot of. Let's look up the word, and then we're gonna look it up also in the thing. But the Lord said, what is it? It is a hypocrite. Comes from the Greek word hypocritus, a actor or stage player, literally translated to interpreted from underneath, which reflects the ancient god actor who wore masks, Hippocrates. Or also means an unbeliever, or biblically a past tense verb mean hypocrisy, moral, all that stuff. So we're going into that. And if you look it up in the, I'll come back to it. Because, look it up in the Hebrew. Believe this. Bear with me. I'm gonna grab it real quick. Let me see. I'm trying to. It's in this chapter, so bear with me. Okay, 14. The sinners of Zion are afraid. Fearless have surprised the hypocrites. These people that they're for that they believe, but they're really just playing a role. When it comes to it, have you ever seen the movie Tropic Thunder? You know how how all these actors are. When you watch a movie, these people are actors. They're playing a role, a stage thing that they're just reading a script and making it look good. But now people think like Rocky. They believe there's people in the world that really believe that he was a real fighter. No, he was an actor. So he's not actually doing it. He's playing and copying. He's coaching personality that everyone is doing, making it seem. So they're gonna be people like the actors more because they make it more dramatic, make it all that stuff. But they're playing a role. What this is in the Hebrew, hypocrite, hana, which means Hippocratic, godless, profane, hypocritic, unreligious. So what does that remind Esau? Because they are copying Esau, because Esau is the number one actor. The words of his mouth are smoother than butter. We don't get it. But it is war in his heart. The sinner in Zion are afraid. The fearfulness has surprised the hypocrite, who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire, and who among us shall dwell in everlasting burning. And they're not going to be burning forever, but this is a thermonuclear people, because those people, they said the judgment is going to start in the house of Israel. So now this you're going to see a lot of judgment, and not saying like that, but it's going to start in Israel from these actors, because this is what's causing most of the confusion in Israel. And the Lord said 2/3 of people are going to be cut off and die. So it's just people in the middle of it acting, playing a role, but they're not really like this. It's because how do you can tell a man is a brother, a disciple? Let me get it real quick. It's in 1 John. Hold on. Bear with me. All right, I found it. John. I'm gonna come back to this because the scripture is not done. This is John chapter 13, verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, is if ye have love one to another. And love is just not, hey man, I love you when you're drunk and all that stuff, or like, hey, being like saying what's up and shalom. Love is also rebuking, telling them if they're wrong, but then when they're in a situation, showing brotherly love, charity, agape. So when you get in a situation, this is when you get in a situation like now you have no money, or you're homeless, or you get in a situation that they're gonna help you, not kick you, mean like suspend you from the camp from fellowshipping or doing certain stuff like that, or when you they're not going to give you this bad counsel. Verse 36. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, what if thou goest? Yahushua and said, whether I go, you cannot follow, but shall follow me afterwards. See? So he told you, and he said that these ones are going to be able to go and follow him away. The sheep hear his voice, and they're not going to be pretending, because the actors is all, but you seen Tropic Thunder. Once they got in a situation, it was still a movie, they didn't actually know how to do or actually fire guns. They only knew how to pretend to fire guns. So when it got in a situation, the guy with the hook, he just was scared. But this is what's going to happen to ones that follow the Lord. This is 33 verse 15. He that walk righteously, the ones that are not, and speak uprightly, he that despise the gain of the oppressor, that shake the hand from the holders of bribes, because that's what a lot of the hypocrites and also they take bribes, they take all this stuff, and he's shaking their hand, meaning rebuking, telling them to stop. That stoppeth the ear from hearing of blood, saying that, what's happened, or letting when a lot of the times these hypocrites or these actors, they make a deal that's literally destroying our people. That's made a covenant with the heathen, and then it's just like with the juicy juice and all the of one of the men's congregation, and he died. All like 22, 27 members died in the congregation, or telling them to do this or telling them to do that, causing them to be jailed, causing them. This is what it does. and shut up his eyes from seeing evil. No one is evil. No one is killing him. But he shall dwell on high, and his place shall be, defense shall be a munition of rocks. Bread shall be given to him, and his water shall be sure. That's why my servant shall eat. So when all these things shall. So we're going to go back what sparked, and we might actually get something else. Sparked this lesson. Verse 23, Matthew 23, verse 3, and all those wheresoever they bid to observe and do, but you do not, but do not ye after them, for words they say do not. So NLT to make it, because the old English is sometimes difficult. So practice and obey whatever they tell you, but don't follow their example, for they don't practice what they teach. So even in these the good camps, even in the good camps, it's a lot hypocrite. So they'll tell you and all that stuff, but they're not doing it either. So you have to understand, you know on how it is. But it's a lot of great brethren, and even outside of the camps that are too, and but they're still camping, still preaching the word. It doesn't really matter. But you know how they treat one another, showing love, showing everything. For they bid heavy burdens and grievous to be borne and lay on a man's shoulder. Like they tell you, like they tell you that you probably shouldn't drink, or that you should do certain things, or it's mostly traditional manners, do certain things. And they're not doing it themselves, and it's a heavy burden. So now you don't have anything to when you're sad or anything, because you can't really talk to them, because then they say you shouldn't tell brothers everything. So when you need someone to talk to, they're busy, see. And then, or you'll say something to them, and they'll use it against you and bring it up to council. So you have to understand this. Lay on the man's shoulders, but themselves will not move them one of their fingers. But all their works they do is to be seen of men. They're playing and entertainment actors. They have made broad their phylacteries and enlarged their borders in their garments. So they're looking the part. They're looking great about it. But what did the Lord say about ye hypocrites? And grab it. Bear with me. This is Matthew's 15. It's a couple scriptures. This is what the Lord hated, because he knew that this is what happens. Ye hypocrite, this is Matthew chapter 15, verse 7. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, the people draw nigh unto me with their mouths and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. So they're saying it and all that stuff. They might even act like they're doing it. They might even be preaching. They might even, but their heart and their mind, they're either really not believers, or they're just grievous men. But in vain they do worship me, teaching from doctrines and commandments of men. So you see what they're telling you. Israelite camp leader saying to do not use wisdom, and they tell you do not use wisdom, or they rebuke you on something that they're doing, or they're doing something even worse. Because when you get to it, or you try to talk to them about it, now it's just a fucking argument. And then it's like you can tell, because you can just hear what they're saying. They're just trying to switch everything you're saying around. And then they get it. And especially if they're a good talker, they'll switch everything you're talking about around. He's like, this is not the point. So the Lord said, just treat him as a heathen. But this is Matthew chapter 7, verse 5. Thou hypocrites, first cast out the beam out of thy own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eyes. Give not which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye pearls unto swine, lest they trample it under the mud and turn it to rent. So you say if you rebuke a scorner, you just get trouble. But rebuke a wise man, he is. But people are acting and they're telling, and like, it might, at a great teacher, they say they might see something to you, but they're hypocrites. They're doing the same thing. But it's because they're actors, and it's very good, like, Israel is talented in everything. Denzel Washington, talented actor. You believe every role. Well, you don't think there's men more talented in Israel acting? They're high priests and great high priests, leaders of whole camps. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power there is, for such turn away. For of this sort they are crept into the house, which crept in the house and led captive silly women laden with sins, leading away with diverse lusts, ever learning, never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So they might say, they're acting, but they said maybe if I get more knowledge and keep going, that maybe I might get the belief. But the Lord didn't get it, so they're just acting, playing a part. We can see by their words. Are they going out? Are they teaching? Are they being brotherly, which is more important than agape? This is first John chapter 1, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hate of his brother, he is a liar. For if he love not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God who he has not seen? So they were saying they love God, but they have a particular hate or off or all that stuff. Because they're acting and they're not. So they really don't actually, that they're hating a man of Yahushua. They're actually hating Yahushua. So if Yahushua was on this earth, they might think, yeah, I probably would humble down. So I'm just going to act the part. But they really would get jealous, because that envious spirit, they would get jealous. Because Yahushua was better, the best at everything. He's the only begotten. He had spiritual powers. He probably was getting all the women. He was getting all, but he turned out. So that these people that are jealous would really be jealous of Yahushua. They're hypocrites. So how can you love Yahushua if you hate your brother? That is an aspect of your brother. That's what ultimately what they're doing, because they're really showing hate, selfishness, which is also a form of hate. It's like, oh, I'm better than them. Are the ones that they do stuff, but they do it in the sight of for men doing it, because an actor, they have to play a role, so they have to be more publicly understood. Like that's why they have publicists and they have to be looked in a good light. So they'll just say, this is Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. Take heed that ye do not do your alms before men to seem of them. Otherwise ye have no award of the Father which is in heaven. So, they do it before when. Therefore, when thou doest, ums, I can't say the word. Do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues in the street. And it's like, especially like they have it in the world kind of sense. That they'll give up, hey, we're giving you $100, these fucking prank videos and all that stuff. Or like they'll give you 100 and hey, we're giving it and put it online. See, we're loving people. They're not. They're actors. Verily, verily I say unto you, they have their reward. They have this, they want to get like big in a defiled, destroyed fucking world. Well, that's why the Lord came with no reputation. Because ultimately they're following in the spirit of their father. Because ultimately, which is the devil. John 8:44. This is Job chapter 15, verse 34. You can, this is was trying to say in his one of Job's friends. Job chapter 15, verse 34. For the congregation of the hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. So all these people that do it, they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity in their belly per pair of deceit, showing that a role that they're not really is. But they're just really trying to get money and trying to get preeminence. They say what's up in like at the light, like when everyone's seeing it, but in reality they did some grimy shit, lied about you about something, and then won't even have the decency to put you on a cell phone. Call you on a cell phone, to be man and tell you, like, why the fuck you lie? Like, why you lie like that? But, this is what they is. This is how these people are. Job chapter 36, verse 13. And then when you can tell, because then they start getting nice when they lose light or followers or something. Job chapter 36, verse 13. But the hypocrites in their heart heap up wrath. They cry out when he binds them. So in the NLT, for the godless, because that's also what hypocrite, profane. This is the actor is smooth as butter, but war in heart. Or Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. They're only acting like that so they can surpass you or get at, but they're not really like that. They said like the whites, the liberal, but the Lord said the liberal man shall now be more liberal. For the godless are full of resentment. Even when he punishes them, they refuse to cry out to him for help. So this is what it is. This is how the Lord put forth that He said it was going to be in wolf's clothing. Let me just grab it. Sheep in wolf's clothing. This is Matthew's 7th chapter. I'm end off with this.
Who's that recompense gonna fall upon? The so-called white man. All right, point blank period, man. You was out here in the thunder.
Bear with me. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware, and that's the spirit too. I was watching another video, but I think it was live, so it ended, so I switched over. So this is Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of the false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, everything. But this is wardrobe. But inwardly they are ravenous wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruit, and do men gather grapes of thorns and figs of thistles? So then could just create more twice children of hell and causing destruction everywhere they go, causing men to fall. And then you can tell because they'll smile when a man small. They smile and they say never lasting man, but it will boost them to even make more videos. It will boost them when another man falls. But the Lord has just a system just to expose men like that. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Kakudas, the Wadi Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua.